Hello everybody, Leaners here. Today I'm going to share with you my plans for these Colocasia and Caladium. Now you might be wondering, hold it, isn't this a houseplant channel? Yes it is. And I bought all these plants as houseplants, and then I found out people grow them in their yard. So some are going to be permanently outside for summertime and then put in dormancy during the winter, and some I'm going to keep in their pots and put them outside to get all that wonderful sun, because these can tolerate full sun. These are going to go into dormancy, and then I'm going to do some in an open garden, and I'm going to do some under a shade cloth like the caladiums. They don't like a full sun. So we've got a little gazebo with a shade cloth planned for these, and then the Colocasia are going to be in full sun. And I'm going to do some in my high tunnel, some in my greenhouse, and then I'm going to experiment with a few bulbs left to winter over with extra coverage in both the high tunnel and the greenhouse, just to find out how they do. And I am zone 7B. I'm in Washington, the Great Pacific Northwest. I'm about an hour's drive from the ocean, in the Mount Rainier area. But I'm near the mountain, so even though technically they call my zone Zone 8A, excuse me, 8A, we really are a 7B. Because we do get single-digit freezes, and we get them prolonged enough that a lot of things die outside. So you got to be careful what you buy at the nurseries around here, because they may survive through 4 El Nino years, and then along comes a La Nina and a hard freeze, and they are just mush overnight. So, first off, I'm going to show you what I bought online on Etsy as houseplants. Not realizing that these things can get 6, 7, 8 feet tall under the right conditions. So first, this I bought as an alocasia. It was sold to me as an alocasia. But if you'd seen a prior video, it's actually esculenta, Colocasia esculenta, and it's the variegated, also known as Milky Way. It is not an Alocasia Okinawa. This was a free plant, and it just said Colocasia, and I got like a half moon, and then it produced this beautiful marbled leaf, and through extensive research I discovered that this is a black marble Colocasia. I'm very happy with it. It's a nice surprise for a free plant. Then this was sold to me as an Alocasia, Hilo Beauty. It is Hilo Beauty, but it is not an Alocasia. It is a Caladium. Caladium. And see, Caladium. It is a Caladium. And it does not like direct sunlight, and it'll be in under a shade cloth outside. But this one I'm going to bring back in before it goes dormant. This is the Thai Giant. This is the biggest of all of the Colocasia. This is the Maui Gold. This is the Waikiki. It will have a beautiful white burst in the center, outlined by pink. And then we've got the Colocasia Mojito. I love that one. We've got the Crazy Pharaoh's Mask, Colocasia also. This is gonna, well, it's sold to me as Redemption, and I believe it is. And as it matures, it gets a hot pink center. Then I was in Home Depot, and I got another Hilo Beauty. So I got this big bulb, which will give me a way bigger plant than this. So this one's going to remain a house plant. This will be allowed to go dormant and then dug up, brought in, dried, and protected. And I've been raising bulbs for years. Bulbs, rhizome, tubers. And it's just like potatoes. We have to dry our potatoes and then we put them in storage. And we grow potatoes every year. And then I got these assortments at the Home Depot. And for the they're all caladium. And then I went on to a grower site called Crazy for Caladium. And I got this huge assortment, and she threw in, where are they? She threw in a bunch of freebies. Here we go. See? I got freebies and upgrades. So I've got that assortment, and that is all different colors. And so that is it for the caladium. I gotta remember that's an M, not an N at the end. And this, I thought it'd be fun to pick up a couple of asparagus. I've been growing asparagus for 10 years, and I didn't want to dig mine up because we use them for food. But I'm going to grow these in a pot here in my plant room, just for a pretty plant, because they do make a beautiful fern. One, I'm pretty sure this is Martha Washington, and this is Purple Night, or something like that. It's the purple one. And then we've got the elephant ear, and I don't believe these are the biggest ones because they have multiple growth points. And really, to get a big giant one, you don't want a bunch of babies. You want one big single plant, like my Thai giant right there. So that's the one that has potential, but these are pretty darn big. I may even, as they start to grow, this biggest one, take and remove all the growth points to see if I get it bigger in the middle. Now these are the smaller Colocasia esculenta. See? And I got these at the Home Depot, and they're already sprouting, as you can see, in the bag. I set these on a little bit of cocoa coir, and all it did was rot the back of them. So I cut it off. I'm drying them, and I did treat them with straight hydrogen peroxide. Just sprayed them down. These, one of them was moldy when I got it, and I treated it with hydrogen peroxide, full strength, dried it off, and they've not grown any mold or rot since. But I've been starting them in no soil, and as you can see, they're starting to grow. So I'm going to continue to let them grow. Look at that huge one in the corner. I mean, this thing is just, oh my goodness. Look at how big this thing is. I mean, it's just, put my hand behind it, you see. So I'm really excited to see these things grow. And I've been going back and forth on the type of garden, whether it's going to be a raised bed, in the ground, or planters. So we'll see. We'll see how these bulbs, like I say, I got 3 sizes, smaller, medium, and the jumbos, or medium, large, and jumbo. And so they're going to be done in an open garden, in a high tunnel, and in a greenhouse. And then I'm going to experiment with leaving a few outside for the winter to see if it's possible to keep these things outdoors in a dormant state in Zone 7B. The only concern I have is I'm not going to do it outside the greenhouse or the high tunnel because they wouldn't get enough growing time to replenish the energy needed in the bulb to grow the following year. So that's why I usually start them inside, so that they store up some energy from growing inside the house, because I can't put them outside till June. They would perish. So it is the middle of February. So we'd have March, April, and May. So 3.5 months indoors, and I'm going to have to pot them up soon or do something. But I'm going to let them grow out of soil as long as I can so that I don't risk rot on any of them. So if you're excited to see what happens with all these out in my yard, just tune in probably in June. And I'll show some videos before that of how these are doing once I've got them potted up indoors. Well, I hope this is interesting to you and that you'd like to check in and see how these turn out. And I thank you for watching today, and you all have a lovely day. Bye.